What's good, y'all? Welcome in. We'll get started here in a moment. Make sure you drop that sin of the day. Make sure you hit that like. Let them know that we are live again on Tuesday night with Smell Goods. Make sure you do that, Lord brother. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to jump in here real quick. Let's get everything down, get everything ready to go so we can have this conversation tonight.
The Weekly Blend, live every week. Fragrance, culture, conversation.
All right, what's good, y'all? What's going on? Make sure we got volume. There we go. We got volume. We got image. We got y'all in the building. Listen, appreciate y'all stopping through. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me for another Tuesday night edition of the Weekly Blend, which is where we take fragrance, culture, and conversation and put it all together. We blend it all together and have some fun, have some conversations, have a good time. Let's jump into the chat and see what we got going on in chat. Twizzy, what's good, my friend? What's going on, my guy? Good to see you. Simone is in the building as well. Instead of the day, nothing. Hey, sometimes it's like that too. Some days it's just like I throw anything on. Twizzy said, just came through the mail. Viva More Forbidden Temptation. I keep hearing about that. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Let's, I don't know if I'm going to grab it, but definitely would interested to see to hear what your thoughts are on that as well. Someone says, thanks to Kevin, I added 4 Savoir Faire Denim L's to the shopping cart. Listen, Savoir Faire, they've got some nice stuff. For me, Soul Cafe is the one that is that's my number one from the house of Savoir Faire. And then for me, my probably number 2, number 3 is going to be Chemistry and Oratory for sure. But they've got some good stuff in there, got some nice ones in there. Some more than others. If you're a floral person, what is it? Hella Flora, definitely a nice one, definitely one to rock. And I think an underrated one from Savoir Faire is going to be Love Suede. Love Suede is kind of one of those that just kind of slides under the radar. Doesn't get a lot of attention in my opinion, but it's definitely a nice one, So Simone, definitely glad to hear you are checking into Savoir Faire. And let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're feeling when you get them. All right. And if you are in Atlanta, listen, I like to pub when I go places. I like to go sniff stuff. But if you're in Atlanta or if you stop through Atlanta, first of all, make sure you're following my guy, Chris Classic and Savoir Faire on Instagram. He does this thing called the Black Nose Lab, which he basically in his store, in his location, in addition to being able to smell all of his stuff, he has a lot of different fragrances from Black-owned brands like Nazar, like what's the guy's name? Kirk Elliott, like Mason Youssef, like who else is there? Ira. There's a whole host of them there. Zernell Gilly. So definitely, if you are in Atlanta, make sure you get a chance. Stop by the Black Nose Lab with Savoir Faire. It'll definitely be a good thing. Ralph, good to see you. Good to see you. I still need to reach out to you. In fact, I will reach out to you tomorrow. I'll DM you on IG just so we can set something up, and then we can just touch base. All right. Scent Boss was popping Kevin chat. Scent of the day, Noir Extreme Parfum by Tom Ford. One of the Tom Fords that I do like. I'm not really a fan of a lot of Tom Fords, but definitely you are smelling good, my friend. Definitely a good one there. All right. Everybody's saying what's up. It's good to see the community going. Good to see community happening. Simone said, yeah, the Discovery set was sold out, but I have all those you mentioned in the shopping cart. You should be set then. You should be good. All right. Um, yeah, they're in Atlanta. He's in Atlanta. He is definitely in Atlanta. Definitely ATL. That's VT Hayes. Good evening, Fragrance friends. End of the day. MFK Grand Soir. Excellent, my guy. Excellent. Who else we got here? David, good to see you. Yes, I am doing well. I'll kind of talk about that because this year has started off crazy, and we'll talk more. Give me a couple weeks and I'll kind of really just tell you a lot more of what's been happening. A lot more that's been happening, but doing good. I'm doing good. We're moving in a good space, good place. Thank you for asking. Definitely hope everything is going well for you as well. All right. Let's see what else we got. Everybody else is saying hello. Rob, good to see you, my guy. Send of the day is Dynasty Latafa. Excellent. So that life, good to see you as well. What's going on? Listen. First of all, welcome. I appreciate you all stopping through. We got 26 on. We got 26 showing up in the live. So let me see where we are as far as likes. Hopefully the likes are in that same space. If you've not done it already, make sure you hit that live for me. Make sure, again, that helps the algorithm, helps everyone know that we are rocking well. I've got 3 on that one, and then let's see what we got on the other one. Y'all need to get them likes up for me. Appreciate that. All right, my sin of the day. I've worn a couple of things because today was a day of filming, a day of testing, what have you. But one of the things that I am definitely testing out is this Forever Wanted Absolute. This, I'm not going to give you the full breakdown, the full thing, but I'm going to tell you that this is grown man vibes. Definitely grown man vibes. Definitely grown man situation. Definitely the whiskey, the vanilla, the incense. So that's one of the things that I've been wearing and testing out today. And then of course also this one, which is the Assad elixir. I think I wore this at least on one arm just to kind of test it out and see what's going on. But that was my scent of the day, was the Forever Wanted Absolute. Definitely something that it's grown manish. All right. What's going on, Jason? I see Jason popping in too as well. Good to see you, my guy. All right. So I don't have necessarily full on topics today just because I was like, yeah, let's just talk. So one of the things I kind of mentioned was this year started off crazy, like bat crazy, right? And I've been thinking a lot about, if you all were here last week, I kind of gave you kind of the parable of fragrance and how sometimes people try to cover up their funkiness with fragrance. And this week, really this month, I've had to walk in grace, right? And I'm not, again, you all know I'm not making this Bible study. I'm not going to be the apostle of aroma, right? But one of the things I've realized and recognized is that I'm extending grace right now. And those that know what I'm talking about, I will definitely share more probably in about 2 weeks. But I'm definitely extending grace right now because I'm hoping that that the person that's foul basically does what they said they would do and honors their word and their commitment and their character. But if not, I'm not an infinite being. God's grace is everlasting, but God's grace will eventually run out. Likewise, my grace will run out, right? But as far as this month has been a crazy month. It's been a month of a lot of shifting, a lot of changing. And so one of the things we're going to talk about is really just what we got planned for this year, right? I know normally we talk about plans for, in December as we're getting ready for the new year, but January, we probably made some plans. We probably made some resolutions. We probably said we were going to do some things. And so the question is, are you sticking to those things? Are those things that you're sticking to, or have you kind of let those things go already? This year, I made some plans, and there's some things that have happened that seem like they may derail those plans. But here's the thing. those plans are still plans. I was looking at my goals that I set up for 2026, and one of my goals was to, without getting too far into it, to leave the place where I was at as far as work and move forward in my own thing. Well, didn't happen the way I wanted it to, but it happened. And so that's a goal that's done. And so sometimes when we're talking about our goals, we have things that happen that come up that kind of shift us from it. And the question is, are you going to keep pushing towards the goal? Are you pushing towards the goal still? Let me kind of jump back into the chat because I know there's a lot of folks that have popped in. I do want to recognize you all and really just have conversation. This is just going to be kind of a free for all tonight. I didn't have a full on schedule or script or what have you. But I did want to make sure I'm continuing to push forward and have conversations with y'all because I enjoy the community that we're building. I enjoy hanging out with you all. I enjoy reading the comments. I enjoy watching the banter back and forth. I enjoy the joning we do on each other and all that fun stuff. So let's see. Bishop's in the building. The set of the day is Latafa Assad Bourbon. Very nice one. Very solid one. Very, very, very solid one. Everybody's saying what's up. What's up? Ricky Garrett to Marlon, the SHK2, I should say. Cool. It's giving side effect that 7 is pronounced vanilla and that booze accord. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. I didn't see where that was, unless you're talking about the Assad. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. Ricky's in the building. What's cracking? Our Moth SHK2. Excellent, excellent. Bougie Ronin is Sadrat Bois by Mancera. I know it's older, but a classic I hear. But I'm about to pick it up. What are your thoughts on this fragrance? Cedrat Bois is definitely, for me, it's definitely still one that I will rock. I still wear. It is one of my travel fragrances whenever I'm hopping on a plane. It's a very nice smelling, very much a compliment getter, very much not an inoffensive type fragrance. You can't go wrong, in my opinion, with Cedrat Bois, simply put. Mancera, of course, you've heard me for those that have been around, but if this is your first time, Mancera is one of those entry-level niche houses that definitely I recommend you jump into. And they got a lot of good things. Cedrat Bois is definitely my number 2 from the house. Black Gold is my number 1. But yeah, you can't go wrong. Cedrat Bois is a classic, but it's still, for me, it still works. It still rocks. It still does what it needs to do. All right. Oops, that's a nice tag. Frag Apostle Truth Teller. I love that. Listen, we might do something with that Apostle of Aroma thing, because I'm really trying to merge and figure out how to take all aspects of who I am, ministry, AI, fragrance, relationships, all that. I'm trying to merge those things together. So you may see some other things that come up that are going to be look like they're blending, but again, this is called the weekly blend. So we're going to blend some things, right? You're going to get all aspects of me as we continue to move forward, not just the fragrance telling you what something smells like. Because one of the things I think that fragrance does, and one of the things I think that we can do in this space is, excuse me, oftentimes fragrance can be a confidence booster. It can be something that just helps you feel a little better. And that goes to even how we kind of view ourselves. And so this is definitely going to be a space where we have some conversations even about who we are, about manhood or early adulthood, all right? Because this is, recognize my audience is not just all men, but even just about moving well, right? Operating well, operating with character, operating with integrity, but also moving forward, right? We don't want to stay stuck. At the end of the day, I look at it this way. If you're in the same position that you're in right now, if you're in the same position this time next year, you wasted time. You should always be moving forward. There should always be progress. There should always be growth. There should always be something that is shifting or changing with you. And the problem is that sometimes we don't think that, or we don't like change because we're comfortable with where we are. But if you're around me, we're going to push for change. And one of the things I'm going to talk about as we continue to move forward in this is just, let's grow. Let's build. Let's do something, right? I want to see each and every one of you win, period, point blank, right? All right. So, Gus, how you doing, sir? I feel you on that, cause here at my work, my. Listen, Garland, listen. I have this. This is an aura ring, right? And at the job that I was at, It was crazy because that whole week of my last week in that place was just, there was things going on both personally or outside of work and going on inside of work that were just bananas. And so this helps me to track even like my stress, right? And so it was kind of crazy because I was in a meeting with the COO of the company I was working for and his team that he brought in from China, and it was a whole big thing. But when I looked at my settings or my readings from the aura, it said I was stressed. I was stressed. But then as soon as I went into my exit interview, like 20 minutes later, it was like, you are relaxed. So yeah, I understand that sometimes we are in places, in jobs to do that. I know this economy right now, but I'm a firm believer right now, especially right now, find you something that you enjoy doing, figure it out. It may not be the thing that you can build a living off of immediately, but if you build it strong enough, you might be surprised what happens and what doors open up. So that would be my thing to you, Garland, is figure out what you want to do and keep pushing towards that, right? All right, let's jump in. I've been on Latafa lately. Excellent. One I'm not sure Pastor K was referring to as being heavy. I have to go back and listen. May have said dark. I could have made that heavy as far as, let me see what I may be missing some comments. It's okay. Let me know what's there. What's going on. I don't like being the person to make someone feel bad. The Father has me being more kind. Listen, yes, I am offering grace right now. And I may be talking to an audience of one that may be just kind of hiding there. I'm offering grace in this moment. However, grace will run out. Grace will run out. All right. I understand people try to slander, so drop bars, Nishanai, Hasavat, and Hawas block. Thank you. So drop bars, definitely. Hasavat, definitely. Hawas block, Hawas black. I get it in some respects. However, I'm still digging the Hawas black. I know it's a lot. It's very oily. I know that it can be very much for some people, it can be headache inducing. I get that. But for me, I still rock the Hawas block. I still have it back there. I haven't pulled it out in a little bit, but it's definitely something that's still rockable. Definitely still rockable. All right. Garland said Simone said that's a daily walk and prayer for me. I can relate. Yeah. You gotta figure out ways to clear your head. I do know for me, when I need to clear my head, my wife knows, especially when I was coming in from that job, I would hop on the PlayStation. I'd play Call of Duty for about an hour. I'd blow stuff up. And it was my way of relaxing. It was my way of just kind of decompressing. That way I don't blow stuff up in life, right? All right. Troy says Argos has 2 new releases. I heard that. I know that. I think Walt may be getting over at Fatboy Finesse. He may be getting one. I'll see what I can find out as far as Argos. I do have on the way from Yeoman Lael. I do have at least 2 things coming from Yeoman Lael. I want to say their take on Neptune's Trident, and then their take, I want to say, on Kingside, are 2 things that are for sure coming, and then a discovery set's on its way. So we'll see what that is. Make sure you're tapped in. If you are a Yeoman Lael fan, I'll have some information coming up soon as far as some of their newer releases. All right. Garland's wearing Alexandria Fragrances Dubai lifestyle take on, which is their take on Boadicea Blue Sapphire, which I love Blue Sapphire. I actually like Yeoman Lael's version of that, which is perfect. All right. JJ Bishop says, consider using targets instead of goals. If you miss, adjust and take another shot. It's like sighting a rifle. I like that. That's good. Because here's the thing. And for me, either way, however you do it, as far as targets or goals, whatever you wanted to call it, the main thing is get something down. And I believe in the power of writing it down. The scriptures say, write the vision, make it plain, that those that read it can run with it, right? There's something that happens when you write something down. It becomes a little more real as opposed to just in your head. Because in your head, it has the ability to get shaken up by everything else that's going on. But if you write it down, that kind of brings it out of your mental into the physical. So make sure you write down your goals. Some people use vision boards. I'm not necessarily into vision boards, but make sure you have some kind of mechanism that you can kind of see what your goals are, what your targets are. One of the things that my wife and I have on our bathroom mirrors, we have some things on our bathroom mirrors that are either encouragements to ourselves or things that we're working on or things that we have as far as targets or goals. So make sure you have something that you can go back and say and really check it off, because you might be surprised. My wife and I found that every year that we would do like set our goals, and sometimes even without fully like actively trying, like sitting down every day trying to hit towards that, we found ourselves hitting those goals. And we found that we hit those goals a lot more and a lot better when we wrote them down as opposed to just having them in our head. So write your goals down, write them down. All right. Strong With You Parfum, definitely a solid one, Frankie. Definitely a solid one. Something else I'm also checking into is the Amber, Strong With You Amber. Definitely checking into that as well. So I'll have something on that eventually too as well. Bless My City, what's my thoughts on Jupe? So here's the thing. Jupe was my thing 30 years ago. I don't think I've smelled Jupe in like 28 years or so. Now, Jupe was the one that my wife, when I met my wife, I was wearing Jupe a lot. So yes, but is it dated? I believe so, right? Jupe is just Jupe, right? But if that's what you want, that's what you like. If that's what you like, I love it for you. Absolutely. All right. Love to know how close Titan gets to Strong With You Parfum. I've not checked that out. I have no idea. So hopefully someone can help you with that as well. Ricky says, Hawas Black is too strong. Again, I get it. I get it. I personally care for it. I like it. I dig it. But I hear that. I definitely get that. All right. D Main, what's up? Kevin in chat. Sent to the day. Electivus Imperium. I have that. I'll put it back. It's back there. I just got that in not too long ago, and I absolutely love it. I love Imperium. In fact, I've got a review coming of that soon. It's coming on that soon. So yes, yeah, Imperium is nice. Makes me want to tap a little more into the house and see what is out there as well. Okay, referring to the video on cold opulence. Okay, yeah, so cold opulence. This right here, it's when I say darker, or even sometimes I say the word maybe not heavy but hefty. In other words, when I say hefty, I'm trying to say that it's not necessarily a light, because Blue Talisman can be a little light, as it were. This adds some heft to it, and there's some leather that kind of pops through this that basically takes it a little darker. So this is definitely my favorite right now. My favorite of the Blue Talisman clones, dupes, covers, what have you. Because this, to me, this just feels more masculine. Not to say that Blue Talisman was feminine, but this just feels a little more like, yeah, it's going definitively masculine as opposed to being unisex. So I'm definitely digging it. The Cold Opulence, definitely a nice one from Arabiat Prestige. Listen, Call of Duty sessions, listen, they are needed. They are needed. All right, let's see what else we got. What's the best way to store my clones? Dark room. You see my room right here. I've got them all over here. Dark and cool. Dark and cool. That's the main thing. Like even this room right now, this room that I'm in is my studio, basically my daughter's old bedroom. The sun kind of comes in here and this room can get warm, but we keep the air at a nice pace. Even when we're talking here in Phoenix, 110, 120, I still keep it cool in here so that it stays nice in here. I rarely raise up those shades that are right there just because I've got this big light and I've got an overhead light when I need it. So yeah, I would say make sure dark and cool. Those are the two key things. All right. But check out Imperium. Trajan is my favorite from the house so far. Okay, I'm gonna look into Trajan. I trust you, Marion. Let me see what that's looking like and see. But yeah, Imperium Electimus is something that I want to tap into more this year as well. Some great fragrances from Initio and Mind Games. Initio for me, Atomic Rose is one that I definitely dig. Paragon is another one that I dig. Blessed Baraka is another one that I dig. And then from Mind Games, what is it? Jadub is like my number one from Mind Games. That one, I think was what? Pomegranate, Rose, Leather. Jadub is my jam from Mind Games. Gambit is another one that is a nice one. Of course, you can't talk Mind Games without talking French Defense. And then there's a few ones that have come out also that is it Mentor? I think Mentor is what I'm thinking of. That's pretty nice. So yeah, I mean, Mind Games has some good stuff too. So hopefully that'll help you in your journey there as well. Anyone in the chat? So looking for trades, whatever. PDK Greek Chanel Extrait. Let's see. I don't know. I don't have it. Let's see what else we got here. So Jason said Trajan is Electimus's take on BR540. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Good to know. All right, Dutch says Rui Lopez is the GOAT of Mind Games. I'm not mad at Rui Lopez. I think when I first smelled Mind Games and Rui Lopez, I was like, it's okay. But as your nose matures and as you kind of grow in your fragrance journey, I can definitely appreciate Rui Lopez as well now too. But yeah, I forgot about that one. Absolutely, that's another one that is a solid one. Mind Games, say what you will about Mind Games, but Mind Games does have some nice fragrances. Do I think that Mind Games just launched too many and they're launching too many, almost like they're a clone brand? Yes, because they've just launched a lot out the gate. And so there was no buildup. It was just like, okay, here's 20 fragrances, but they've got some good ones. They have some good ones, right? Marion says, I love Jadub and Yomelel's version. I stumbled upon Juice Commodity Gate Unkept. Yes, that is one of those dirty little secrets that that Juice Commodity is kind of in that same space as Jadub. Absolutely. All right. So let's talk again. I was kind of starting off with 2026 for me, started off with great expectations that shifted. And I say shifted because the source, as far as what I was thinking was going to be, the value or the conduit, as it were, of those great expectations, those shifted, right? Found out some things happened. I'll share more in a couple of weeks probably, because again, I'm offering grace. Gosh, I am offering grace. All right. But as far as what I'm looking to accomplish in 2026, instead of using someone else or someone else being the conduit or the vehicle for helping those things happen, for me, I'm betting on myself. For me and my wife, we are betting on the Crawley household. So 2026, as far as January, started off crazy. Started off just bananas, bonkers, however you want to put it. But I wanted to kind of have the conversation as far as what are you looking to do this year, and we can even just to tie it into fragrances. What are you looking to do this year? But also, what houses are you looking to check out this year? Right? Yes, we all know about Arabia Prestige, which they haven't missed as far as just a couple of things I put nose on. We know Latafa, what have you. But what are the houses that you are looking to tap into for 2026? And this came from my conversation. I had a conversation with Jason. Jason had asked me and another person as far as what houses, what things we were looking to tap in to this year. And I listed a couple, but there's even more that I'm really wanting to tap in. For me, one of the ones that I want to tap into more, just because again, with where I've come from and where I've been as far as fragrance, I know of them. I know they have some great stuff, but I really want to tap more into Xerjoff. So Ralph, we're going to touch base because Ralph sent me over some things and definitely things I'm enjoying putting my nose on. I have a celebration bottle that I have that is when things start to move forward again. It's going to be my celebration bottle, which is Alexandria 2. So we're going to tap into Xerjoff a little more this year. But I want to know, what are the brands, what are the houses, what are the things that you are looking to tap into this year? Who is it that if you're on a fragrance journey, which houses are you saying by the end of this year, not saying you got to get a full bottle, but which brands have you either heard about or maybe put a nose on a couple of fragrances and are like, I want to learn more about this house? Which houses are those? For me, another house that I want to check into and tap into, and let me get this shared here. Another house that I want to tap into is Floraiku. Floraiku, let me get them pulled up here. Where's my thing here? Where we at? Oh, what are we doing? There we go. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm having problems here. Let's do it that way. There we go. All right, let's take this off. So Floraiku, I want to tap a little more into Floraiku this year. I smelled them at Scent Explorer, and they've got some nice stuff. Gong is one that I definitely put nose on and was digging. And then there's another one. Let me go here. Which one was it? So Sand and Skin is one that I put nose on and is definitely up my alley. It is vanilla. I think there's some incense. I want to say this is from Sand and Skin. Notes on it. Yeah, vanilla, benzoin, lang lang. This is one that I think that I put nose on and I was definitely feeling. So I want to tap into that as far as Sand and Skin. And then, of course, One Umbrella for Two is another one that a lot of people are talking about. Black currant, rice, what's that? Tea extract, musk. So Floraiku, the presentation is beautiful. The presentation is really nice. That's I want to say a 50 ml. And then this top here doubles as a travel case or travel spray that you can take with you. Definitely beautiful presentation. Definitely of the couple that I smelled when I was at Scent Explorer, definitely was some good fragrances. So Floraiku is another brand that I'm going to tap into as far as this year, and just check them out. So be on the lookout for those as well. Let's see. Let's jump back in. Let's see what you all are talking about. Jason said Grace might end up as a frying pan to the dome. Listen, I'll come back to that in a moment. Okay. I'll come back to that in a moment. Marion Franks, Imperium is Ani and Aventus Twist, in your opinion. Yes. The thing about Imperium though is the florals to me come out a little more. Whereas Ani, I think, and Ani kind of the woods stick a little more, in my opinion, if I remember correctly. The Imperium, the florals really just come through a lot more, especially in that mid. But yeah, Imperium is definitely good. Definitely good. All right, saying what's up to Dutch. I'm a big fan of Ani and have stopped myself from getting Imperial a lot. Now I have to rethink. Imperium is nice. I'm still planning on getting Ani as well. No question about it. All right. Garland says he has a long list. Chris Collins. Yes. Day 3. Absolutely. Yes. Xerjoff, Electimus, Nichane, etc. Nice list. Nice list. Yeah. Chris Collins. This Forbidden Apple. Definitely a nice, sexy apple type fragrance. Don Savage is one of my forever fragrances. Yeah. Chris Collins has got some nice stuff. Y'all know how I feel about Day 3. Shout out to Mike and the Day 3 family. What do I have recently from them? Of course, I've got the Midnight Raspberry, Philosophia. What else is there? Escandalo, What's the other one? Desert Rain. They've got some nice ones there. Not everything, of course, is my scent profile, but there's nothing in the Day 3 line that I'm saying is bad. Even the one that my wife has, which is Royal Reflection, beautiful fragrance. Wife loves it, absolutely. But definitely a good list, definitely a nice list, absolutely. Appreciate that. Simone says Savoir Faire. Well, you got the Discovery Set on the way, or the 10 mLs on the way, so you definitely are starting off your year, right? Electimus, yes. Zoologist. Jason's been talking about zoologists. Now, the thing I've heard about zoologists is that some of their stuff is like very eclectic, I think is the word. And I did freeze. Did I freeze here? No, we're good. Okay. It's very eclectic. Eclectic is the word I want to use. So I'm going to rely on Jason because I trust Jason's one of those noses that I trust. So I'm gonna trust Jason. I'm gonna let him go into the battlefield and tell me what's good, and then I'll follow behind and see what I would like out of what's good there. So yeah, zoologist is there. Is Givenchy? Yes. Played with Gentlemen and the feminine scent in Ulta and was pleasantly surprised at Kajal. Definitely. Yes, Kajal is on my list as well. Kajal is another one that we're going to tap into a little more in 2026. I said Masa is definitely on the list. Ruby is on the list from Kajal. Kajal has some great stuff. I talk about how I had the opportunity to sit down with Mo, who is the owner and visionary behind Kajal, and the perfumer, one of his major perfumers. Great conversation. Kajal, I love their attention to detail. I love their story. I love the fact that they are not trying to be what's what I'm looking for, be trendy. They may do things that there is a trend happening, but they're not going for the trendy take. Like I think it's Ruby. The cherry in Ruby is not your trendy cherry that was happening at the time that all those cherry fragrances were coming out. So I definitely appreciate Kajal, and it is something as far as a fragrance that I definitely want to tap into more as well. How do I like Day 3? I love Day 3. I'm good with Day 3. I may have to pop over to the boutique because I live in Arizona and Day 3 is based out of Arizona. I may pop over there because I'm hearing there may be something on the way, and I want to see if I can get maybe an advanced nose on it, but we'll see. All right. You get T-Rex, Civet, and Rhinoceros as an introduction to the House of Zoologists. Now, Jason, I don't know if you trolling because I don't know what those are, but just the names sound a little raunchy. But all right, I'll take your word for it, bro. Every Floricu I've smelled on one was fire. Yeah, the two that I put nose on because they were packed when I was at Scent Explore. It was hard to get into their space. One, they were sharing their space with a couple other brands, but it was hard to get into their space. But the couple that I did put nose on, I was definitely like impressed with. So that's why I definitely want to tap into more of them over the course of this year. Let's just try 8 to 9 Floricas. Okay. Trust your nose too, Dutch. You got some good taste in there. So absolutely. Anyone who have experience with Born to Stand Out Drunk Lovers, sampled a few times, but it doesn't last on me. I put nose on it, but I have not actually had a full wearing or anything of it. That may be a house to check out as well. Mo, what's up, my guy? Good to see you. Good to see you. I still owe you a call, bro. I still owe you a call. Yeah, I think they are clowning. All right. Need to smell Trace Orals. That's the other one. Trace Orals. Do I have that? Trace Orals. Listen, for me, and I think was Trace Orals, I think it was the first full bottle that I got from the house of Day 3. If I want to say, I think it was the first one. I had, of course, had the Discovery set, so I got an opportunity to tap in and kind of smell everything. But I think Trace Orals was the first one that I was like, I actually went and purchased. I went to the studio, the boutique, checked it out. Pineapple, plantain, cinnamon. brown sugar, honey. I call it, and I know it doesn't make sense, and I say this as my caveat every time. To me, it comes off as a fresh gourmand. Fresh in that I'm trying to describe or let you know that it's not your typical syrupy, sweet gourmand fragrance. It is a nice, light gourmand fragrance. I've worn it in the summer here in Phoenix. Not full high heat, but I've worn it when it's been like in the 80s, even low 90s, right? So it definitely works well as a fragrance that just is a beautiful fragrance. Trace Orals is that one. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. William says he's going against the grain and going back to designers and clones. Hey, if that works for you, for me, now, granted, I've got a couple of designers. I think I was talking about, and I'm reviewing the Forever Wanted Absolute and the Amber, and there's something else. The Forever, not the what is the Stronger With You spices. I definitely want to kind of get my nose on, but for me, if I'm honest, designers aren't really moving me right now a whole lot. I'm not saying they don't move me at all, but for me, my battle right now is between clones, and that's partly driven by the channel, the content, seeing what's out there, what have you, and niche. That's where personally I am headed towards as far as niche. So again, you're seeing both of those from me. Designers for me, I won't say they all gotten boring, but there's nothing that has been like for me, which is like stellar standout. There's good ones here and there, like the Mont Blanc Explorer Extreme is a nice one, solid one. But it's what it is, right? Trying to think what else designer-ish. Don't know. The Forever Wanted Absolute is nice as far as what I'm testing so far. Definitely a nice one, but it's not anything that is like moving me. There's some things that are happening in niche world that are moving me that I'm like, I'm loving, I'm digging, what have you. But hey, no one says you have to go the same way. All right. Dutch says civet is such a calm, subtle note. Okay. Who is this? Des. Bonnie. Bonnie is another one. Bonnie is definitely another one. Here's the secret. Here's what I'm going to tell y'all. If you are a fan of Day 3, there is a Day 3 Fragrances Tribe or something like that group on Facebook. Just tap in, ask to join it, be part of it. I know sometimes when Michael is doing like specials and sales, he'll announce it there first. If you're into Day 3 and you want to maybe be part of a pre-order when he's launching a new product, that's a great place as well. Don't get away from Facebook, because Facebook groups still happen. But the Day 3 Fragrances Tribe, I think, is the name of the group there. You might want to tap into that if you're a fan of Day 3. All right. All right. Let's see what else is going on. Someone ain't using your name. Who's using your name? Who's using the name? James, what's going on? What's going on? All right. Real quick, Jason, you said something about Grace might have a frying pan upside the head. And as immediately as I said that, again, I'm telling my age, but there was the song, Oops, Upside Your Head. Said, Oops, Upside Your Head. So I'm not telling a whole lot right now because I'm giving grace. But as I mentioned earlier, grace, and when we're talking, and again, yes, I'm pastor. This is not trying to be Bible study, but grace, we typically define it as the unmerited favor of God, right? And grace, when I say I'm giving someone grace, it means that I'm not giving you what you deserve at this moment. However, when we're talking about grace eventually runs out. God's grace is until he judges. God's grace is I don't want to say eternal, but God's grace is everlasting, as it were. It's long term because he's an infinite being. I'm not infinite. I'm very finite. So as a finite being, I give grace, but grace does run out. And so some of y'all don't understand what I'm saying. It's okay. Give me about 2 weeks, it will all be very clear. But I'm giving grace because maybe we don't have to have the conversation in 2 weeks, right? Because sometimes you want to give people grace because maybe it's the opportunity for them to prove they're not who you found them out to be. Maybe when you're giving grace, you're giving them grace because maybe this is an opportunity for them to realize the error of their ways and make some changes. But again, my grace is not infinite. And my silence does not mean that my grace is going to go on forever. All right. That's my PSA. Some of y'all get that. If you know, you know. If you don't, just watch how I'm moving. Just watch how I'm moving. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. And again, give me about 2 weeks. All right. JJ Bishop, Savoir Faire is on my list at or near the top. Yes, very solid. He had a special going on not too long ago where you could buy 2, get 1 free of the 30s, the 10 mLs, or the 100 mLs or 50 mLs. I forget how big there was, but yeah, I got 3 of the 30 mLs. Soul Cafe, y'all know that's the banger for me. All right. JJ, day 3, yes, day 3 is definitely one. All right. Wancha says, I'm going to the Savoir headquarters this Friday in Atlanta to put my nose on their fragrances. Definitely, listen, come back next week and let us know in the comments what your experience was. I loved it. It was a great experience. It was, first of all, Chris is just, he's very chill. He's like, when I went in, it was like a Thursday, I think, or a Friday, I can't remember. But him and his guy, they were boxing up orders and what have you. They had the music playing, they were talking. It was shortly after, I forget who had just recently passed around that time. And they were just talking. He was like, listen, enjoy your time. Just let me know if you have questions. And it's just a cool atmosphere, cool vibe. I would love to be in Atlanta for the dry down, which is what they do like once a month, which is like a kind of like almost like a lounge type thing where it's like just come smell music, just a nice vibe, what have you. But if you're in Atlanta, you have to make it to the Black Nose Lab where Savoir Faire is. It's an experience. It's a great place to put nose, not just on all of Savoir Faire, but other brands that you may have heard about, but haven't had a chance to, just because if we're talking Black perfumers, we may not always be able to put nose on them as readily as some of the others. But yeah, definitely do that. And be on the lookout. I know we're talking about for February being Black History Month. And traditionally, I think the first week in February is Black Perfumers Week. Be on the lookout. There may be some things happening as far as some interviews, some different things happening, especially with some Black brands and Black perfumers that you might want to check in and tap into. So definitely make sure you are subscribed, not only to myself, but everybody on this side of the cul-de-sac. Myself, Walt, Mo, Jims, don't know who else I'm missing, even Jonathan, right? Make sure you're tapped in to all of us that do content on this side of the cul-de-sac so you can stay up to date on stuff, all right? Uh-oh, we about to have, what's going on? What in the world is going on? Why is there a Jason Vircher? Jason, I'm gonna let you figure that out. Or someone playing with you. All right, what's going on? Waiting a purchase from House of Cosmo. I'll see how that turns out. I have more day 3. And I realized what the greedy joker I am wants, Amber Domenicano, finally Neo. So Amber Domenicano is another nice one from the house of day 3. As far as House of Cosmo, that's another brand. So I've got Nova from them. I have a couple of 10 mLs from them. And I do have a pre-order on the way whenever they do ship it of Element Delta. In fact, let's get that up here. Again, House of Cosmo, in my opinion, stole the show at Scent Explorer. So this is House of Cosmo. They are on pre-order right now. They have the 10 mLs, so you can pre-order, I think, right now, as well as if the thing pops up as far as 10%, you can stack that. So the pre-order I think was like 15% off, and then you can get an additional 10% off. I think I may be wrong as far as that initial as far as pre-ordering. But the one that I'm looking for and the one I'm waiting on is Element Delta. Look at these notes: menthol, coconut, bergamot, lemon. Middle notes: cacao, lavender, tobacco leaf, heliotrope, iso e super. And then base is cedar, musk, ambergris, vanilla, patchouli, sandalwood. The only reason I didn't walk away from Scent Explorer with this was because they did not have it. I think it was sold out when I got there on the second day. But this is actually on its way whenever they decide to ship them. Yes. So House of Cosmo definitely has some nice stuff that's coming out. You'll probably hear a lot more about them throughout the year just because they did kind of a soft launch at Scent Explorer, but they are going to be releasing everything basically come February, I think it is. So next month you should start to hear a little more buzz about House of Cosmo as far as another brand that you might want to check out. All right. William said that's straight disrespectful, and he put Jordan behind it. That's genius. Oh, okay. So we trolling. All right. Yes, Ruby is nice. Ruby is nice. Being very selective this year. I'm just decant everything I can. Maison Azrar. I've been buying. That's a great house. Maison Azrar is nice. Yeah. So that's the other thing is basically where I am right now. You'll probably see a lot fewer bottles, or you'll see trades out of some of these bottles and rotating new bottles in. But you'll also see a lot of discovery sets this year. You'll see, because again, I want to be a little more intentional with some things. So discovery sets will be kind of the way that I'll be pushing forward as well, just because it gives the opportunity to check into the house. Another house that I want to check into is these guys right here. I keep seeing them. Let's go here. I keep seeing them. But I was hoping that they would be at Scent Explorer this year, but they weren't. But this is Black Cliff. I don't know if anyone's put nose on them. One, the bottles just look crazy. They look like actual rocks, what have you. But it's a brand that I want to definitely try and check out this year as well. Haven't put nose on them or anything. It's just something about them that I'm like, I want to check them out. I want to see what they've got going on. So we'll probably be ending up with their discovery set at some point this year. Not bad. So that's another brand that I definitely will want to at least try and tap into, see what they got going on, see what's happening with them as well. All right. What else we got going on? Kind of scrolling through. I haven't made you all. I thought I made some of you all. Made some of you all mods, or maybe the mods that I had aren't in here, but it's okay. Jason, I'm gonna add you as a mod. I'm gonna add some of y'all that are definitely regulars here. I'm gonna add y'all as mods as well too. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll take care of that. All right. Just minding my business. Only was be to the old me. Listen, Jason. You know they brought to bring out. So here's the thing. This is the thing about me that my friends know, my family knows, but I can be very.
Give me an E. Give me a T. T-Y. I'm petty all the time. Give me a P. Give me an E. Give me a T. T-Y. I'm petty all the time.
So, as far as my grace running out, I already have my petty plan in place. Because I can be petty. If I can't handle it one way, I'll handle it another way. And I'll be very petty. Extremely petty. So, people bringing me back to the old me. It's all good though. All right. What niche are moving you? So as I mentioned, Xerjoff is one that I want to tap into. Um, another one that I want to tap into, and some of these are more accessible niche. Some of these are a little higher level niche. RDZ is another one that I want to tap into this year. RDZ is a Puerto Rican brand out of Philly. Let me see if I've got them here. Let's get them. I put nose on them at Scent Explorer as well. Let's get them up here. Passion was nice. Copycoot is nice. Probably my first one from this house will be Philly Blunt, just because many of you all know I'm a tobacco type person. I love a nice tobacco fragrance, and Philly Blunt, yes. Philly Blunt is definitely on the radar, but I want to tap into more of them. I only got a chance to smell a couple of them just because their booth was packed, their booth was rocking, their booth was busy. But Philly Blunt is definitely one that I'll be checking into. And then if you are a gourmand person, where is it? Where is it? They not have it up here. There it is, Flan. This is one of the most realistic smelling gourmand fragrances that I've had, or that I've put nose on. This smells like you are standing in the midst of a restaurant that just served you a nice big thing of flan. Yes, this right here is definitely a nice gourmand fragrance from the house of RDZ. So it's definitely a house that I want to tap into a little more, get a little more going from them, and check them out as well. All right. Garland says, got stronger with you. Parfum coming next week. This is the only designer I'm riding with for a few. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, there's a couple of things here and there, but there's nothing as far as for me designer-ish that is just like moving me extremely, right? Nothing that's really just like I'm just all over the place with, right? Let's see what else we got going on here. Don't give them the satisfaction imitation. They say it's the best form of flattery. That's what I've heard. Yes. Designers are lacking complexity and uniqueness for where I am in my journey right now. That's kind of where I am right now too, Bishop. That's kind of where I am right now. Is I want outside of the cookie cutter fragrances. I want things that are beyond just the same DNAs over and over again, right? And that sounds weird because yes, I do still pull out the clones. I still pull out the inspired takes, what have you, right? But for me, the inspired takes take the place of the designers because, and I get, for example, I get what Walt has said a few times as far as, if you want the designer sometimes because of where prices are for the clones, you might just wait an extra paycheck or put an extra $20, $30 for it and get the designer. Definitely get that. But for me, clones have become almost on the same level as designers. Not saying necessarily in quality, but just as far as what they're pushing out, right? But for me, niche is where I'm finding that there's challenges to the nose. There's interesting combinations. There's the movement or the shifting of fragrances or of the notes as it moves from the top to the dry down or what have you. And that's the thing that I'm like really being intrigued by and loving is the quality of them and just the movement when you're smelling something, how it really it's a journey, right? So for me, yeah, designers are cool, clones are cool, but niche is where I'm really, really, really kind of in there. All right. What are you gonna do when you really something? I probably miss. Oh, you're talking lyrics. Okay. Mr. Clark, good to see you. Scent of the day, Guerlain, Loam, EDL. Excellent, 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 excellent. Marion said, just a quick correction. Mercy is not giving what you deserve. Grace is giving what you haven't earned. You may be having mercy, and for us, grace and mercy always runs out. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I get that, yes, because in many respects, though, I am, because of the situation, I am giving something he doesn't deserve right now, and he hasn't earned it. So, yes, he's getting grace and mercy. He's getting grace and mercy. But Jesus, if there isn't a season of recompense, my Bible tells me that vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. But sometimes we have a part to play in that. All right. Yep. All right. Rob Knox says he's looking at Zherzhov, day 3, and Mark Antoine Barrios. Excellent. Nice. Let me see what we got going on here. Let me see something here, just because. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. I'm just going into and seeing where I can see and see if I can add some moderators real quick. Well, whoever it is, they just joined last week. Whoever it is, they just joined last week. So give me a second. Let's fix something else here. But yeah, we're going to tap into a few more houses for sure this year. Let me get here. All right. Listen, I'll take care of that in a moment. All right. What else we got going on here? Wancha lives in Georgia. Absolutely. Yeah. Marion says Black Aroma meetup in Atlanta with visit to Black Nose Labs and other vendors. You may want to hold off on that. Just use caution. 2026, year of the weirdo. Absolutely. Absolutely. There, yes. Tell us the house you're recently buying. I'm, in all honesty, I'm kind of on a no buy for right now. It'll probably be more discovery sets this year, to start off with. There are some things that are definitely, like, for me, bottles that I want to have this year. I want to get my Alexandria 2 this year. I want to get, I told you the House of Cosmo, the one that's coming. I want to, by the end of this year, I want to get my Royal Oud. But as far as which house, like, I'm going to tap into and just like start to go through as far as purchases, not sure. Probably as far as discovery sets, I showed you the Black Cliff will probably be one that I'll have here soon. I'll probably get Electimus just because I'm enjoying Imperium, so I want to take more into them. I'll probably start with a discovery set fully of RDZ. Juice Box is another one that I want to get a discovery set of, or at least check into more. And then another one that I want to check into more is Mason Youssef, which is, I want to say, Nigerian or Ghanaian perfumer that I know they have a shop in, where is that? In DC. But I put nose on them at the Black Nose Lab, and I definitely want to check more into them as well. So definitely some things to put on those there. Let me get this here. All right, I'll have to play around with that a little later. All right, what else we got? Yeah, that menthol and coconut you're talking about from the House of Cosmo. Yeah, but the way that all worked out, it really just smelled really great. It was a very nice scent, and it lasted. Like, I sprayed it on the little tester that they had, and it was lasting and still kind of pumping out over other things that I kind of sprayed elsewhere on my arm. It was really just working out well. So it's definitely one that I'm definitely enjoying. We'll figure that out. What are some clones you have recommended for upcoming spring season? If we're talking just fresh and light spring fragrances, if we're talking day 3, of course, you got to pull out Escandalo or Desert Rain. Oratory from Savoir Faire is another one that you might check out. Just again, things that are kind of off the beaten path. I think there's enough spring, summer fragrances that are out there that you can kind of choose what you want, and there's enough publicity about those things. But as far as just things that are kind of off the beaten path, those are 3 that definitely there. What else? Because I'm looking around. Trying to think what else. I don't know. I'd have to really think about that as far as other things that I have. Of course, for me, my spring that I'll probably be breaking back out is my Eau Intense Vetiver Terre de Mes. Definitely going to check that out as well. Just picked up the day 3 Discovery set. Y'all got me. Listen, day 3 is nice. Yeah, I'll get some mods after this one is done, just because I think of who is currently watching most of the time. I know Joel is one of my mods. I think Fat Walt is one of my mods, but I got to add some more in. So I'll add them here in a moment here, or I'll get them in. I'll get you guys in. Trust. I'll get them taken care of. Absolutely. And they off the chain. I'm getting into this house so far. I'm enjoying it. My wife is as well. Duhoff, Muthier, Teriak are my favorites right now. Yeah, Thana, as far as the brand, as far as we know, the actual owner of the brand, definitely has some good quality stuff, right? Definitely Thana as a brand and as the fragrance brand, I'm good with. I don't have any issues at present that I can discover right now with Thana as the brand, right? I definitely still have my IHA. I have, definitely still love that and rocking that. All right. Let's see what else we got. Marion says that I got that Flannan Philly Blunt from RDZ. Good stuff. Yeah, that Philly Blunt, again, definitely a nice one. Rob says, if you like tobacco, try buying a designer perfume from the early 2000s. Have a good recommendation for you before it's gone. I'll definitely take that under advisement. Definitely, Rob, when I reach out to you, definitely let me know about that one, because I like a good tobacco fragrance. Absolutely. Earl sent me a link to a house. Sorry if they sell out fast. By the time I opened the page, it was sold out. Garmon, I'm coming off my vanilla kick. I feel like an expert now. Sad. All right. I don't think I've had flan. Is it just a cake smell? It's a very sweet vanilla, what else? Caramel type of fragrance. Milk, as far as the notes in it, I know there's coconut milk, there's caramel, cinnamon, vanilla, and pastry cream. So I can't, because I haven't had flan in a while, but it's more of I want to say a cheesy, not cheese, but vanilla caramel kind of milk custard. That's what I'm looking for, type of a dessert. So definitely a nice one. All right, let's see what else. James, you got some samples from Blackcliff. I might have to, yeah, because it's a brand I want to check into. It's something about it I just want to check into, right? I'm just kind of scrolling through here. Gotcha. Yes, sir. Fragrance was sold out. So y'all got something that was sold out. But it bluntly, clones have the creativity that I appreciate above and beyond just smelling good as telling a story. I don't know that I don't know that I agree with the telling a story. I think that the value for me of clones is now that my nose has kind of picked up on the nuances and difference, because when I first started, if you go back to some of my first videos, I was like, oh, this is a one-to-one. No. However, I recognize the differences. And so now I look at more of them as twists. Like this Assad elixir. First of all, can we talk about how the Assad line is just all over the place, right? Normally when you're talking, for example, in your designer lane, when you're talking flankers, you've got at least the same DNA is kind of there and present throughout, right? So for example, like this Stronger With You Amber, there's still some elements of the original Stronger With You and the Intensely and all of those. There's still that DNA that kind of pulls through, that you recognize that it's a flanker. Same thing for the Wanted line. There are some things that kind of pull through that you're like, I can see that this is a flanker. This Assad and the Assad bourbon, and then this Assad elixir, the Assad bourbon, the Assad Zanzibar, which trash, and then the OG Assad, all are like different. They're all over the place. So to me, it's not necessarily a story. It's kind of like they just kind of market it and put it under the line that they knew it would sell, right? So there was hype, of course, because Assad elixir, and it's a black bottle, you're thinking, oh, we're getting maybe an updated or maybe another twist on what they did with the original Assad. No. This is not even for me and I'll do the full review, but right now, as far as what I'm picking up, I get Boss Bottle Absolute, which is what everyone's saying that it's doing its take of. I get it only towards the dry down. That opening is not, to me, not fully in the Boss Bottle Absolute lane. It's in the neighborhood, but like further down the block, at the end of the corner, around the corner, and across the street. It's not really there for me in the opening. As far as Boss Bottle Absolute, it gets closer as it goes too. So for me, clones have their place and have their space as far as doing nice twists, as it were, on fragrances, right? That's my thoughts. All right. Marion said, anybody ever get your nose on Sweet Botswana? I have, and yes. Yes. Sweet Botswana is nice. I know Walt, Fatboy Finesse, check his channel. I know he's the first one that kind of introduced it. I got a sample from him. We did a decant swap. Sweet Botswana is nice. That's something that I probably want to tap into a little more of. But it's nice. It is very nice. Had a chance to meet him, maybe see if I can get him on the channel. The guy behind the nose behind it as well. But Sweet Botswana is nice. Definitely nice. You're really giving an imposter fragrance. I wasn't paying attention, man. I was just responding. I'm just responding. All right, let's see. SVT, yes, none of the Assad share DNA. They are definitely all over the place. Yeah. But when you look at, for example, the Camera line, there's a consistency as far as just kind of their same kind of MO throughout it, just adding something like coffee or more spices. So it's kind of confusing because like I said, the Camera line, the flankers kind of, you still get that same DNA. The Assad line is just all over the place. It's whatever they feel like doing whenever they feel like doing it. All right. Yeah, bottle design is the only thing that they share. I do like the bottle. Now, I do like the bottle design just because the matte black. I do like that. I do appreciate that. But yeah, it's just kind of what it is. All right. Yeah. All right. Trying to think what else. We kind of talked through what fragrances we're looking at for 2026, what houses we're looking at for 2026. Goals. What are the goals that we have for 2026? One of my goals I've already knocked off. Just didn't knock it off the way I wanted to, but it got knocked off. But what are your goals for 2026, right? I want this weekly blend to not just be a place where we talk fragrances, but also we blend all of our elements of our life together, right? You're going to get more of who I am in the fullness of all of the areas that I function in this space. But I want to kind of just remind you and be that encouragement for you that what is it that you want to accomplish in 2026, and how we have the great thing about this space that we're building, not just this channel, but the other channels that you see us interacting with, right? The fact that Jim's is in the comments talking, well, right? The fact that Jason's here, the fact that Dutch is here, right? The fact that Walt pops through every now and then, the fact that Mo pops in, right? The thing that we have that's really amazing is that we have a community. And one of the things about community or common unity, one of the things that's really great about having a community is that many times the things that you may need or the connection that you might need may already be in the community, right? One of the things when I was pastoring, and as I've pastored and been in ministry for many years, one of the things that we tried to do was really just make sure that everything that was needed within the community or within the church body, as it were, that we knew who might be the person for that, right? If you need an electrician, we know Brother Deacon so-and-so is the electrician that can probably help you out, or at least point you in the direction of somebody reputable. And so the thing that I want to kind of help and make sure that we're doing in this part of the cul-de-sac, in this area of our community, is let's see what the needs are. But again, that does require integrity. I'm sorry. It does require integrity, right? But we want to make sure that if you have a need for something or you need assistance with something, that someone can give you advice, give you counsel. Now, it may cost you a little more, right? It may cost you something. One of the things, for example, is I'm getting ready to start, because I have a background in training and development and course development, what have you. And I told you this year I'm betting on myself. 2026 is the year of betting on Kevin L. Crawley. And so I'm in the process of getting together a course to help people launch on YouTube. Now, am I a person that is having 100,000 subscribers? No. But to the person that is getting started, I may be able to provide some information that will help them to get over the hurdles and the humps that I had to get over when I did my first channel, 5-6 years ago. And then when I did this channel, started this channel about 2 years ago. So the things that are in the community, there should be somebody, or there may be somebody in the community that can help you move to that next step. But we need to all be kind of operating with the mindset that, listen, this is a community. Let's help each other grow, right? Help each other grow. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Don't like Fragrance Dubois Lucius. I've heard mixed on that. It is. I put nose on it. It's nice. It's nice. All right. Yeah, Mo do be hanging out in the shadows, but Mo, appreciate you stopping through. Mo, we got to talk about your wholesaler deal, because yeah, we trying to figure that out too. Listen, if you haven't seen Mo got the plug over at Dallas Wholesale for Perfumes, I think it is. Yeah. Absolutely. Marion Franks says, gold, make the haters regret. Coming off professional let down due to the prejudice of others. Time to build it and do what grandma said, be twice as good. Listen, there is, again, not Bible study, but I'm gonna let y'all know kind of what my prayers are right now. There's a scripture that says something to the effect of, let them fall in the ditch that they dug for you. Somebody about to fall in that ditch. The other thing is that if I hold my peace and let the Lord fight my battles, God gonna fight the battle as far as the recompense, as far as what needs to occur regarding this person or this individual. But there's also another passage that says that that our steps are ordered. And so what I'm believing, what I'm understanding, and where I'm at right now is that, yeah, my steps, even though they look kind of crazy right now, my steps are ordered, right? The other thing that the scripture says is this, and I know I'm giving y'all a little scripture, but I'm not going chapter and verse. The other thing is this. It says that, what's the word I'm looking for? That all things work together for good. So even right now, the things that are happening, the things that look crazy right now, I have to trust, and I want you to trust that no matter how things are, how crazy things are looking, if you trust in God, then it's going to work out, right? That's the way I'm looking at it. All right. Enough. All right. Mo at the Floor IQ flagship store telling them folks, let's work. Listen, Mo was at Scent Explorer, and we've talked about it before, but Mo was all over the place at Scent Explorer. Listen, I might have to follow his model next time when we go to Scent Explorer, because Mo was all over the place working it. All right, Mary, I added sweet sponsor to my fragrance collection over a year ago. I can attest it's a goodbye. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Dutch, for them scriptures. Absolutely. Let's go. My 3 are: 1, find a new job. Okay, good, definitely. Start a channel to help amputees and become a chaplain at the hospital I go to. The chaplain were great strength in my recovery, and I want to give back. All of those are great things, and I pray that those things do take place and happen for you, and happen for you quickly. Definitely the new job, definitely pray that happens quickly. This is the time of year where more companies are hiring during January, February. So my prayer is that you find the job, and not just the job that is going to take care of needs, but I pray that you find the job that really you enjoy, that does not stress you out, that does not cause you to hate the job in 6 months, but something that you really enjoy and get paid well for. That's what I believe for you right now. And then as far as the channel, absolutely. The thing I would tell you, and the thing I tell anybody that's wanting to start a channel, just get started. Just start filming. It does not have to be perfect. In fact, some people have said, I've had some people that have looked at my channel, and my first video was of a good quality. I'm not saying it's what I see right now, but it was of good quality. That's because this is my second full YouTube channel, or at least doing content in this manner. My wife and I, as some of you know, have a ministry, and so we've been doing that for a number of years. But let me see if I can show you. I'm gonna just show you how our first few videos looked on our old channel. Let me see if I can find that for you real quick, because I'm gonna tell you, just get started. Now, we're not doing this channel anymore. We've kind of let it go, but just so you can kind of see, give me just a second here, what our oldest video looked like. Where are we at? There we go. So these were some things that I brought over, but the first video that my wife and I did, I think, was this. Y'all can see same chair, but this is that same room. But y'all, that's how the first video was looking. Same room, just that blue wall. That's that same wall back there. That bookshelf, I think that bookshelf was on its last legs. That microphone, I think I've got that microphone down here somewhere. That desk is gone. So I show this to say this. wherever you want to start, wherever you are, start there. You don't have to, it does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be all over the place. It just start where you are. That's the thing I would tell you. Start where you are. All right. All right. I think that's it tonight. I wanted to just, again, have a conversation. Next week, I'm working on some things. I may have, again, I think next week is the start of Black Fragrance Week. So we may start some things next week or have some things available for that. But listen, make sure you tapped in. If you have not already, hit that subscribe. I know most of you are probably already subscribed. I will get some moderators in here. Immediately after I finish this, we'll get moderators going. But listen, do me the favor again, just be good to each other. I know this is sounding kind of corny, what have you, but just be good to each other, right? This is a season and this is a year that there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening both positively and negatively. And it seems like we have that all the time, but right now there are some things that are happening this year, some things that I believe are on the horizon for this year, where you're going to need a community. You're going to need people around you that you're connected to, people that you trust, and people that are around you that you can glean from and they can glean from you. Find your community. We have a great community here, but you also need that in-person community as well. So this is a great place, of course, to come hang out, talk fragrances and talk whatever, but be good to each other and find people that are good to each other as well, right? That's all I want to say. I think that's it for tonight. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me again this evening. I think that's all I want to cover. I didn't have a whole lot this evening. Just a lot going on. Let's see. There says I'm about to fly out to Florida, stream live from Roth Collection. Listen, yes, because Roth has a nice collection. Absolutely. And then let's figure out. I know there's talk of trying to meet up someplace. As far as the community and seeing what event we might show up at, or maybe we put our own event together. Maybe we put our own thing together as far as the cul-de-sac, this part of the community, and we show up in a city, we hang out in a city, we grab meal, we touch grass, we go smell stuff, and we just be a community. All right. Listen, again, appreciate y'all, love y'all, have a great evening. We will see you next time. Be blessed. Take care.